In the beginning, Toyota created Lexus, and then Honda made Acura and Nissan Infiniti, and Hyundai looked on and thought, I'll have some of that. And so it created its own posh car brand. Behold, our new brand is Genesis. Please go buy them.
Now enough biblical references. You see, Genesis has been around in South Korea, North America, the United Arab Emirates and Australia for a while now. But it's finally coming to Europe, and that includes the UK because we are still part of Europe. Well, geographically at least. The new car is the G80. Oh yes, and it's basically a Korean version of the Mercedes E-Class. And here's the carwow top 10 things you need to know about it. Now I said the G80 is a bit like the Korean version of the E-Class, but looking at it, it sort of reminds me a lot more of the Audi A7 Sportback, that sloping design, and also the design of the lights and the way you've got these horizontal lines and the LEDs in the front headlights as well. It is quite Audi-ish. Then there's the crest grille. I like the look of. Brilliant in America. Not so much in the UK though, because we're going to put a big number plate on the front and it will just ruin it. In fact, if you look at the grille and the Genesis logo, it kind of reminds me a little bit of a Bentley. But that's probably not a coincidence. You see, the guy that designed the G80 also designed the Bentley Continental GT. And before that, he designed the Lamborghini Gallardo. So, click on the pop-out banner up there to vote which you think looks the best. The new Genesis G80, the Lamborghini Gallardo, or the Bentley Continental GT. Yeah, it doesn't seem fair, does it? But I don't care. It's my show, my game. Play. The new G80 gets a huge central touchscreen. It's actually 14 inches diagonally, which is the way you measure touchscreens. It's clear, it's bright, and if you want to input addresses to the sat-nav, you can do that by using a little touchpad between the two front seats, though it's quite small, so it's going to be hard to draw on route images like you can in some German cars. Oh well. The car also gets augmented reality satellite navigation, which means it uses a forward-facing camera which sends a feed of the road ahead onto the screen, then superimposes directions on top of that so you never make a wrong turn. That's something Mercedes was first to do on the A-Class. Now the Genesis also gets a huge digital driver's display, this time 12 inches. It's nice and bright yet again, and you can have it in either 2D or 3D view. It also changes colour depending on what driving mode you're in. So it goes red if you're in sports mode, obviously, then a yellowy orange in comfort, and blue if you're in eco mode. Though I don't know why people use blue for eco, because surely it should be green. There is one thing that annoys me though, it's the rev counter that goes backwards, just like on BMWs. In fact, if you want to see my full in-depth video review of the new BMW X6N, click on the pop-up banner up there. Everyone wants to connect their devices to their cars these days, and the G80 will be no exception. So you'll be able to use your virtual digital assistant to preset the car's temperature, so when you're leaving the house and get into the car, it's at the right temperature for you. And it should work in reverse, that you can be driving home, set the temperature in your home so that when you actually go through your front door, it's at the right temperature there as well. So you never have to worry about being at the wrong temperature. Oh, poor humans, eh? And then there's some other features that are available. So you can actually pay for fuel using the car's infotainment system. You just press a few buttons when you're at the pump and it'll pay. Now this is only available in South Korea at the moment, but they look to extend it to the rest of the world. Then there's some other features as well. For instance, you'll be able to use the car's surround view cameras to send live feeds to your phone, so you can see if someone's getting a bit too close to your pride and joy. And if they look really weak, you could go out and confront them and make them go away. Though if they look big and scary, you could just kind of cower in your house and maybe call the police, go, please come and save my car. And if you're in the UK, obviously the police won't come, but you can give it a go. Inside, the new G80 is fairly plush. There's lots of wood, leather and soft touch materials. Plus you can spice things up a bit if you want to by adding some styling packs, which includes stuff such as special stitching on the seats and a two-tone steering wheel. Also, I like the way the dash has been designed, the way you've got that central vent with the infotainment screen above it and then the climate controls below it. It all looks fairly smart. In fact, it's a far cry from the Hyundais of the olden days. I mean, I remember the Hyundai Pony, it was awful. This new Genesis model is fitted with something that's called machine learning. Does sound sort of frightening and may end up in some kind of like Mad Max dystopia, but what it really means is that the car can monitor your driving style and it will learn how you drive and try to apply that style to the cruise control system, which seems like a good idea. But what happens if your driving is really bad? If you're a tailgater or you speed or you do dangerous maneuvers, I'm assuming that it's not going to pick up your bad habits. At least I hope it won't. There's no newfangled electrification technology used on the G80. It relies solely on the good old-fashioned internal combustion engine. So there's a 2.5 litre petrol with 300 horsepower, a 3.5 litre V6 petrol with 380 horsepower and a 2.2 litre diesel with 210 horsepower. You've got an 8-speed gearbox, automatic obviously, on every car as standard, and they're all rear-wheel drive, unless you pay some extra for all-wheel drive, which you can do. Now, because there's no hybrid or electric powertrain or anything like that, economy isn't great. So the petrol V6, you're looking around 20 miles per gallon out of that. And the diesel, around 40. Not brilliant. However, what is brilliant is the suspension setup. So it uses a camera to read the road ahead. It can spot bumps and will set up the suspension accordingly so you don't feel those bumps. Like Mercedes, you can get the car with acoustic glass, which is basically double glazing so you don't hear any kind of annoying noise from the outside. There is some annoying noise though. It's fake engine noise pumped in through the speakers to make the car sound more sporty. Though why bother? Why not just have it quiet? It's an executive car. As I said at the beginning of this video, the G80 hasn't yet been confirmed for the UK, even though it's probably likely to come. So that makes it a bit harder to predict the pricing. In Korea, it's going to cost around £35,000. When you think about the starting price of an E-Class over here in England is £39,000, I reckon the G80 is going to be about £37,000, which may seem quite a lot for a Hyundai, but try not to think of it as a Hyundai. Think of it as a Genesis in the way that you think of a Lexus as being different than a Toyota. Okay? Now, if you want to see how much money you can save on a new car, click on the pop-out banner up there to download the free CarWow app. You know when you go for a long drive, and it doesn't matter how comfy a car seat is, because you just sat in the same position for so long, you do get a little bit achy after a while. Well, this shouldn't be a problem in the new G80, because its front seats have something called ergo motion, which sounds like something that would make you go to the toilet. But what it actually is 7 air bladders in the seat which constantly move and adjust to keep you active while you're driving, so you shouldn't have the aches and pains that you normally have in other cars on longer journeys. This new Genesis has all the latest driving aids. So it's got adaptive cruise control, which will keep you a safe distance from the car in front. It'll automatically steer to keep you in lane. All good, all quite common, but it'll also change lanes for you automatically if you use the indicator. You don't have to do anything, it'll do the rest. And when you need to come off at a motorway, it'll steer you off and slow you down. It'll even slow you down if you approach a bend. All good, all clever. What's even more clever though is the fact that its headlight system can be on main beam, but oncoming drivers only see it as being on dip beam. No idea how it does that, but it does that apparently. One other cool feature is the fact that the car can park itself without you even having to be in it. You just get out, press a button, and it just does its thing. Easy. The G80 looks just as nice in the back seats as it does in the front. In fact, the seats themselves are very similar to the front seats, and they can recline and they can slide forwards. They're fully electric, obviously. You also get rear infotainment screens, your own climate control there in the back. All very, very luxurious. In fact, in the rear, it's a bit more like the Korean version of the Mercedes S-Class rather than the E-Class. There are some small problems though. For instance, the middle seat is tiny. You're never going to want to sit there. And because you've got the electric operation of the seats, you can't actually fold them forward to load larger items into the boot. Still, at least the boot can be opened and closed remotely. So that's some saving grace, I guess. I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a like. Also, let me know what you think of this car in the comments below. Is it a bit of a copy of the Germans? Or do you like it? Is it worth us having it in Europe? Or do you think it should just stay away? Let me know, tell me. Also, if you click over there, you can download the CarWow app. Like I said, it's totally free and it includes a special number plate reader so you can scan a car's number plate with your phone's camera and it'll tell you how much that car is worth. If you want to watch some more videos, just click on the boxes below there. And if you look beneath the video, you'll see our new range of CarWow merchandise. Go check it out.